What's up guys, it's Galaxy Tech Darklord here. I'm back to present my new Hieratic Dragon deck for the 2014 January format. It didn't actually do that well in the last tournament I went to because everyone, about 70% of the players there were running Evil Swarm. And of course when they get Ophion out, that's when the deck dies completely. But nevertheless, I won all the duels that weren't Evil Swarm, and the deck has become more consistent since I made a couple of changes, so I'm going to get straight into it. For the monster lineup, we run 3 Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit, your primary special summon, your Cyber Dragon, it is what it is. Then we run 3 Hieratic Dragon of Su. This is your secondary special summon once you've gone into Tefnuit, because then you can destroy back row if you have another Hieratic Dragon, and in any case you can then go into King of Atum after you've used Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit's special effect. Then we run 3 Hieratic Dragon of Eset. This card can equal that of another Dragon type norm monster you control, which means that you can go into any level 5s or any level 6s with it. Then 2 Hieratic Dragon of Nebthet. I still don't like to run 3, so that's why I've only got 2. I don't find it as useful as Hieratic Dragon of Su, because it's not level 6. Then for the non-Hieratic Dragons, we have 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, of course, this helps the OTK. Then 1 Genex ally Birdman. You use this generally to bounce Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon back to your hand when you've used its effect. Then for the hand traps, I've taken out the Gauze and the Tragodia because I've found them to make the deck a bit more inconsistent, so I've replaced them with 3 copies of Battle Fader. This card negates any direct attacks when you haven't got anything to play. You don't have to control no cards to use it like Gauze, and with Tragodia I just like it more because it's level 1, so you can normal summon it as well. Then we run 2 copies of Maxx. 3 just tends to be cloggy for me, so I run 2, and that works really well. Then for the normal monster lineup, we run 2 copies of Labradorite Dragon. It's a level 6 tuner, and it's a dragon type normal monster, which makes for good plays for Star Eater, Trident Dragon, or Hieratic Dragon King of Atum, or any other rank 6s you have. Then 1 Yamadron to help with your rank 5 plays, 1 Flamvell Guard if you don't want Red Eyes Darkness Metal to stay on the field and you want to go into Star Eater, and Galaxy Serpent to go into any level 8s or level 7s. Then for the spells, we have 3 Hieratic Seal of Concvocation, your emergency call of the deck. I like this card a lot because I generally add Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit because that's always the one I haven't got. Then 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon and 2 copies of Nightbeam. This card is like Mystical Space Typhoon, except it targets set spells and traps, and your opponent can't activate them in response. So if you don't want to set off chains, then I'd use this card. Then 2 Wingbeat of Giant Dragons. With this card, you can return any level 5 or higher dragon type monster to your hand and destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. And with Hieratic Dragons, they're all over level 5. And generally, if you use this with Tefnuit or Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, it helps a lot. Then 2 copies of Forbidden Lance. If you don't want your opponent's spells and traps to affect your cards, this is ideal, and also you can reduce your opponent's monster's attack with it as well. Then I still run the 2 copies of Enemy Controller. I found it to be quite useful, more useful than Creature Swap, because I tried that as well to play against Bugens, but I just didn't like it. Then 1 Day of Peace. This gives you draw power and also gives you an extra turn. And then 1 Dark Hole. If your OTK doesn't pull off the right way, you can just wipe the slate clean and all your opponent's monsters with it. And then finally, for the main deck, one trap, we have one copy of Breakthrough Skill. It's a dual purpose card. You can use it on your turn, on any player's turn from your field, and on your opponent's turn from your graveyard. For the extra deck lineup, I've finally got hold of 3 Hieratic King of Atum, and still only 1 Gaia Dragon and a Thunder Charger to put on top of it. Then 1 Constellar Ptolemy M7. You can go into this after you've made Atum or after you've made Pleiades and used its effect. Then 1 Gauntlet Launcher. You can pop up to 2 cards with it. 1 Exobeetle. I find this useful when your opponent has lead yoke on the field, because this card doesn't destroy things, it just sends them to the graveyard instead. Then 1 Photon Strike Bouncer is your generic plays. 1 Swordbreaker. 1 Constellar Pleiades. Just like Constellar Ptolemy M7, you can use this card to bounce any of your opponent's monsters or your cards from your graveyard or field to the hand. You can use this. I like using this card to bounce up your opponent's Dracosac because that just annoys them a lot. Then 1 Volcasaurus helps with your OTK, and 1 Keeper of Genesis. It's just a generic card and I like it a lot. Then for the synchros we have 1 Crimson Blader, 1 Dragon Wing, and 1 Star Eater. Currently I don't know what I'm going to take out for Trident Dragon, but if you have a Trident Dragon, I'd advise running it with this deck because it works very well. Right, that's it for the deck. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe.